Hey, what's good, peoples, man? Before we get this episode started, it'd be dope if you toss us a like, a subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on those bell notifications, man. We truly appreciate it.
You're not my man. You're not my man. You're a genius.
What is good, everybody? It is your host, John D. Contradiction, with Reckless DWR with another Who's Man's Live. So, as usual, feel free to attack us in the comments, all that good stuff. And, you know, for the YouTube stuff when we post this, like, subscribe, all that shit that gets algorithms going, all the shit that's just reminding me that I got to start posting stuff on YouTube with a picture of my face in the outline and big words, because that's just the culture now. It's fucking weird. But either way, we got a dope guest on, hard worker, getting his raps on. You know, he's got a review from us, and he's just out here, man. We truly appreciate it. Introduce yourself, sir.
What's up, y'all? My name is Watzreal, Bay Area MC, hip-hop therapist of BRL. Yeah, just happy to be here.
Hey, that's what we like to hear, man. That's what we like to hear. I'm going to put the regular screen. I'm going to even us out. But yeah, one just off rip, just to start, I appreciate you jumping on here, chopping it up with us. It's always dope for me. Like, I appreciate these because it's always good to just hear from other artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been in the game a long time. We've all seen the game. We watch the game as it goes, mainstream, underground, and all that. But you never really get to hear from like the underground or the middle ground or even the mainstream that well, unless it's some, you know, TMZ type bullshit. So again, appreciate you jumping in on here, man, for real.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
No doubt. No doubt. So let's start off with the very beginning, some humble beginnings. Tell us how you first got into music.
Got into music, really just trying it out, you know. I remember the first time, like, I tried to write a rhyme, like, I was in a science class, and it was just like, I think it was like 8th grade, and it was just an assignment, and I just got done really fast. I never really thought about being a rapper before, and that kind of sparked the idea. And, you know, I just, like, go home and, like, think about, like, not even think about, like, raps. I would just literally just think about words that rhyme in my head, like, as I went to bed. And then, you know, I started trying to mess around with it. I remember the first raw rap. I was like, this makes no sense. This is complete trash. And then, you know, I just kind of worked on it a little bit there and there again until, like, I felt confident enough to, like, show it to a friend. And he was like, all right, it's kind of cool. So, you know, kind of stuck with it for a minute. It was mostly just kind of hobby, just kind of fucking around. And then it wasn't until I joined, like, BRL, Beats Rhymes of Life, hip-hop therapy nonprofit I work for now, as a participant that really kind of anchored in my love and understanding for hip-hop and really propelled me to kind of get to where I'm at today.
That's dope. That's kind of like the love to it, like the love for it too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you always find something, and once it pulls you in, like, it's very hard to not want to, you know, dive right into that shit. Like, writing, like, a lot of people start off, like, I started off with poetry. You start off with something, you're like, oh, this sounds kind of cool. And then when you start working on it, cleaning it up, then you're like, oh, maybe it could go on a beat. It's endless, you know what I'm saying? But then it opens up that door, you know. Then you start learning about different styles. Then you learn about different areas that have different styles. And then you dive into the elements, and, you know, b-boying is always going to be dope. Shit like that. Always. It's always like, dudes just someone could do a regular ass flip, and I'm like, oh shit, I've seen that.
Anytime breakdances happen, I'm just so enthralled. Like, that's something I've always kind of wanted to get into, is learn how to breakdance. Like, you know, it's
but I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
They strong as fuck, man. That shit's crazy, but it's like, it's amazing.
Yeah, and I can imagine getting started like in a science class, because all those big words you learn in that class and shit. You could probably, you know, trying to rhyme those words. That's fucking crazy. You try to tackle those on, or you're just?
I mean, in the science class, I think it was like basic. I feel like it was probably just like basic words. Like, I don't even remember what words I was like rhyming, but it was like, you know, pretty like basic words. But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously like now, like, I've definitely like try to take on challenging words. Like, even when I was going on board today, like, I was just trying to think of like words that I haven't rapped with before, and just, you know, just kind of lay it out.
It's a cool exercise to do, you know.
That old school, like, Eminem, you know, memorizing the fucking dictionary, or, you know,
on my hands,
ASAP Rock, just fucking knowing every word known to mankind. That's dope.
Reading the dictionary and shit. Yeah. How did you settle on your rap name, Watzreal?
when I started doing rap, you know, like I was young and I knew I was kind of impressionable. So I knew that it might be tempting for me to rap about things that necessarily weren't pertaining to my life. You know, like, and a lot of the hip hop that I was listening to was, you know, like a lot of gangster rap and a lot of street life. And I was like, well, that's not really relevant or reflective of my life. And I couldn't really find at the time, like, you know, so when I was listening to hip hop, I was listening to a lot of mainstream. I hadn't really gotten fully into like the underground scene and a lot of the other like subgenres within hip hop. So without having a lot of blueprints to kind of reflect and rap about life in the way that I wanted to, you know, I knew that I had to find something or find a name that kind of would hold me accountable. So anytime that I like try to deviate from the path that was like reflective of my life, it kind of pulled me back. Like, nah, I can't do that because I'm something real. So I knew real needed to be part of the name. So then one day just kind of, actually I was like doing an online poker game and somehow it just kind of clicked. I was like, what should my username be? And I was like, what's real? That should be my rap name too.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, that's a way to do it, man. I mean, it's a name too that like it gets people thinking too. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone listens to you, they think of the name and all that type of stuff. Because, you know, like I said, we're gonna get to that too later. But like when I reviewed you, it's like, yo, the pen is there. So like the messages you had a lot of messages, and it kind of fits that. You know, even if it is something you had built up on a poker game, you know, it's something that fits. It's kind of it fits that message. It fits currently now, you know what I'm saying? Like it fits what's going on because it's like what is real, you know, what's real and what's not, you know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to. But it's a clean name. It's clean. It looks clean. The spelling looks good. I be giving people a hard time if it's a terrible spelled name or got so I'll be getting
some numbers in the name or some shit. That was a pet peeve of yours. So tell us about your musical influences. So who inspired you, you know, like, you know, musically to get into music? You know, what shaped your...
Man, people inspired me. I mean, we were just talking about them, like Kid Cudi inspired me a lot. Like, like listening to Man on the Moon, I was like, oh shit, like I understand my life more now. Like, holy fuck. Like, I was like, man, he just like tried to do everything that I've been struggling to do with hip hop. I was just like, how the fuck did he do that? Like that album changed me a lot. I listened to a lot of like old school rappers in the beginning too, like Illmatic, Rakim was super influential in the beginning. My mom also, like, when I was like buying records, like I had one of those like strict parents. So like even when I was like a teenager, I couldn't buy an album unless it had if it had parental advisory. So like one of the first like albums I went out and buy was from LL Cool J. It was like, I forget the name of the album. It was back in the Headsprung era. So I bought that album. That was one of the first albums. So LL Cool J was super influential. Like I was like trying to do like a lot of love songs. I didn't really know how to rap about my life yet. So I was super influential. Jay-Z's been influential. Mac Miller's been super influential. Yeah, those are kind of like the pillars.
That's dope. You hear it in the music, you know what I'm saying? Some of those influences and shit.
Yeah. It's good to have that kind of direction. I mean, it's good to, especially like with Cudi and like it's definitely range because you got Mac Miller, you got, you know, the stoner kid who's just trying to hang out, but he's super artistic. Then you got Jay-Z, who's like the businessman. He chooses his words very wisely and correctly. But then you got Cudi, who pretty much made people who didn't really know how to sing learn how to harmonize. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. I mean, it's dope influence.
Nah, that was super dope. You know?
Yeah, it's dope influences to have because like those are building blocks to like. A lot of people hate on the new school and they say that we hate on the new school, but we really don't. It's just we wouldn't have this new school without all those pillars, without all those building blocks to make these quote unquote like perfect sounds sonically and all that shit. So it's just like our biggest issue is like just pay homage. Just a little bit.
Some respect, you know, give some flowers.
Where you didn't invent the wheel, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Gotta give respect to the pioneers.
Yeah, they paved the way.
Yeah, so that's just only when they die they start giving them like appreciation. Like, oh, rest in peace. I remember when I first heard so and so. Like,
you gotta give people the flowers are still around.
Yeah, while they can smell them.
Yeah.
So hearing all this influence, how would you describe your style? Like, you know, when someone wants to tell, what kind of music you make, what's your style? What's the sound?
My style I really go for is, you know, being introspective, being self-reflective, and being relatable. You know, I try to write about my experience, about a lot about like, you know, definitely about mental health, about love relationships, and just about life in general in a way that's like unique to me, but also relatable to others. You know, definitely taking in a lot of that old school element in terms of the flow and in terms of certain cadences, but, you know, also like, you know, trying to mold it into something new that's accessible and, you know, kind of has a little bounce and still feels like it's, you know, catchy for people to kind of hook on to.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to do it. It's a good way to incorporate different things and also kind of leave your stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a good way to kind of have that kind of feel and still be you while getting your message across. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing wrong with getting a message across, but also being like, hey, this message was built by this. This is where it is. Like, this is the final product type thing.
I feel like my first album kind of encapsulated is like wisdom, wit, attitude. Like, you know, the wisdom, there's the message there. There's wit. You know, you gotta be a little witty, a little bit of cleverness, a little bit. Definitely got to get some humor in there. But, you know, still got a little bit of attitude. Still gotta, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to deliver a message, you know, and having people like listen to the message and, you know, really soak it in. You got to find a way to really make them, you know, get engaged in it. Like, oh, all right, for sure. I like the song and I like the message, you know.
Oh shit! Shout out to the Spit Club. He just said what's good, man. He wanted to say what's good.
What's going on?
I got 5 years.
Hey.
The Spit Club, good dude.
In a minute.
No producer, good dude.
So talk to us about the Dark album you just released. You know what I'm saying? Like, how was the process of making that project?
Man, the process was crazy. It's definitely something like I really just held for a while. It's the most time, energy, and thought I really put into a project in terms of, you know, it being my first, or what I consider my first conceptual album. Really trying to make a stamp of what I wanted my direction to be as an artist, and kind of, you know, for a while I was just kind of like making music to make music. And, you know, when I had the songs done, you know, put a title on it, release it as an album. But this is one of my first albums where I really wanted to explore more sonically, lyrically, topically, and really encapsulate, you know, the last 2 years, but also taking the direction of mental health and all the societal issues that were kind of going on within the last few years. And, you know, still maintaining within that, you know, wisdom, elements of wisdom, wit, and attitude, and kind of going into, you know, darker places sonically and darker places for myself, mentally, being able to relay those messages, being able to have like a full circle moment, and really try to make something that, you know, would have like a lasting impression. Like, I was really going for that like classic feel for this album. Like, I was really trying to push something and push myself to make what I felt was the best thing I could make at the time.
That's dope, bro. And and like, what inspired like the cover? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know you talked about the Dark album. It seemed like it was like, you know, kind of representative. Can you speak on that a little?
Yeah. So the Dark album cover kind of came as I was, you know, trying to think of what I wanted the cover to be, because I had the name for a while, and, you know, I kind of messed around with different ideas. Maybe I'll do a yin and yang type of situation. I was like, it feels kind of played out. Like, you know, I was kind of sitting on it for a while, and then I kind of had the notion that, you know, the Great Wave, maybe there's a way that I can incorporate that. And the more that I studied the Great Wave and the meaning behind it, the more I just knew that it was too aligned for me not to use it, you know, from, you know, the story of the artist going through everything that he went through, from like making that that piece of art, like in his, like, I think like 70s or 80s, from all of like the things that he went through in the trials and tribulations. He got like struck by lightning, and had to relearn how to paint. So he didn't, actually had painted that when he was like 70, 80. He like lost his daughter. He lost his wife. You know, it's also Japanese American influence. And I'm, you know, part Japanese and obviously American, but and then also what the painting represented. The painting was representing, you know, when I researched it, it was talking about it's this sense of impending doom and not really knowing what's to happen next. So to me, that kind of very much reflected where I was at in my life, and then also reflected the times, you know, the sense of COVID, the sense of what was going on with Trump. Like there was so much things when I started the album that just seemed to very perfectly align. Like there's a lot coming on. We don't know what's going to happen next. And hopefully we can just ride this wave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That shit was, I mean, it was, you know, you touched up on a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's, you can just tell a lot of this was written during the pandemic times because you had time to sit and think. And, you know, I know, you know, the review got what it got, but just to be real, you know, artist talk straight up. My thing with the project was I felt like you put so much into, there was a lot, the writing was a lot in the writing. Production, I thought you had a really great ear for production. But the thing that for me is once certain artists hit a certain level where I'm like, oh, they can fucking write. Then I start to get tough on you. You know what I'm saying? Then I start to be like, nah, now I'm going to start nitpicking. You know what I'm saying? Because it's lyricists like you got a certain power. You know what I'm saying? And the shit you can say shit that certain people can't. Like a lot of people don't know how to be lyrical and also know how to be musical and don't know how to do certain things. But also to add a message to that, like that's a powerful thing. Like that's a tough fucking thing. So for me, it's like, yo, when you have that kind of power, it's like now I'm putting it on you. And it's just my personal thing. You know, it's just my personal preference. I'm putting it on you where it's like, yo, I need you to deliver these in a way that everybody really needs to fucking soak this up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know what I'm saying? And, but like real shit, like you had the content there. Like I can hear you sitting like, yo, I'm fucking sick of the news. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of this terrible shit happening on the news, bro. Like we're all sitting in here depressed as fuck watching Tiger King. And the news is just not getting better. You know what I'm saying? I could feel that frustration. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, you had that in there. And then you had the production. And it's like, yo, you're trying to deliver something that's not, the beats weren't like fucking coming at you. They were chill. And it's just like, all right, I'm going to deliver this message. I'm not going to come at you. I'm not going to bark this message at you. I'm going to just deliver it to you. I'm going to talk to you about it. So there's a lot of good things that go on there, but you know, personally, I'm gonna come at you more aggressive because I'm like, bro, I know you got that power. You know what I'm saying? And that's just
good. Yeah, and like you know, to be real too, like I sat back on this album for a while. Like I wanted to make it sooner, but like I sat on it back for a while because like I was scared to put it out. Like I was scared to, you know, I was almost scared to work on this album because I knew of the weight of it, and I knew like it was almost like, you know, sometimes we get scared of our own potential and scared of our own greatness. And I was for a while, you know, it kind of like, so I had to like kind of sit with it for a while until I was just like, nope, go time. We just needed to get this pen to paper and make this music happen. But yeah, I think that's also what like kind of kept me from having a more keen ear to just like, the, you know, certain processes and, you know, I won't name names, but the, you know, mixing could have been a little.
I get it. Yo, it's hard to put out a that's the thing with people too. It's like, yo, it's hard to put out a project. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot that goes into it. You start like the project is like, oh, I got a dope idea. I'm gonna start doing this, start picking beats. But then it turns into like, yo, you start hating yourself. Then you start judging. Then you know what I'm saying? Then shit gets tedious. Then you hit a point where it's like, all right, I've been sitting on this too long. Do I even like this song anymore? Does it fit the times? Like to put out a project is it's a job. It
really is, man. Especially when your songs start to sound old to you. You know, no one's heard them before. It's gonna be fresh to everyone else, but to you,
but like, I definitely get that shit. Like, it's tough, and then to work on, it's the pressure too. Like, we're all artists to have that pressure of like, yo, we're sitting in a pandemic. And everybody's probably sitting at home writing music, and you're like, I'm about to write music too. But then to have that feeling like, yo, I didn't even drop nothing during this fucking pandemic. It's so, you drowning yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see the cover, the big ass wave. It's just me yelling at myself about to fucking drown me. It's like, it's heavy. You know what I'm saying? It's very heavy. It's heavy shit.
Yeah. And I know I was like tackling, a lot more deeper topics and going into like a lot of sounds, topics, and just, experimenting. This album was a lot more experimental in the sounds, but also in like my voice and styles that, so with all that, I was like, that also like brought in a lot of anxiety. It's like, how are other people going to take like all these styles? Am I really, all these sounds sound good? I don't know. I feel like they do, but I'm not going to know until I put it out. Spit Club.
There we go. We got him. We got an elder head to upgrade on his phone, man. We know it's stressful to download new apps.
I was getting on Discord, man. I was fucking like an old man trying to figure it out.
That was stressful.
Discord. I've only been on there a few times. Like,
Discord is
the technology.
Technology's the future, though. That's the thing that's scary.
The digital age.
It makes or breaks people, bro. If you learn how to fuck with the internet, man, you could do a lot.
That's right. So talk a bit more on the album. So which song were you most proud of, or which one was your most favorite track on the whole project?
Man, I don't know. I think it's just kind of the mood, I work so hard on like each individual song. Like I really try to make it so like every song was a great song. Like I wasn't trying to be like, oh, this song's gonna take off, or this song.
But like you though, like which song that you hear on there where you're like, oh, this is a banger. No, I don't give a fuck what nobody think. This is you, like bump that shit over and over. Like which song on there did you like love? Whether you told people or not, you're like, this is my shit on here.
I think maybe just in terms of this absolute, just being prideful of, just in general, it's probably Hello Darkness. Like I really like, I had a rough draft of that early on. I shared it with people. I was getting some kind of like reaction, but I wasn't getting the reaction I wanted. But I was like, nah, I got to go hard on this intro. Like I got to like bar out of control. I got to like really go for it. So I stripped that all the way. I kept like a few bars that I really messed with, and then went back to the drawing board and just really try to push myself on that one. And the reactions I've got, the times that I've like performed that live, like it's shown me like, like this is like, like I really, and even just like when I was like with the producer or in the booth, I was in the booth with Tope, who actually produced the beat as well. Shout out to Tope. I was like, man, I think I snapped on this. And then like, I remember just like going through the whole thing, like I don't even know how many bars it is, 50, 60, 70 bars. And he was just like, well, goddamn. I never get a reaction out of him. He's always like, oh, you want to do it again? That was the first time I ever got a reaction without him. So I was like, all right.
That's a big victory. That's a win. Right. That's fire. I wanted to ask on the album, and this is just out of pure curiosity.
Yeah.
Did you get killed by whatever label owns that Don't Stop sample? I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way. 1,000 emails coming after him. Like, we need money now.
Never found out yet.
Nah, Curtis King made that beat. Hopefully he cleared the sample. I didn't ask.
Like expensive ass sample.
Fingers crossed, but yeah.
That sample was literally the song of like 2 summers in New York. When Rick Ross dropped that What You Working With, that sample was fucking, that's all we heard. Like that's all we heard for years. So that song is a mega hit. So I'm like a sample off of that, even though it's not from that, but like that song took it to that level, bro. Yeah. I was worried. I was like, yo, how you get this?
Yeah, I've been sitting on that beat for a minute. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to make it work for this project.
Yeah, for real. Spit Club dropping some nice words. I don't know if you saw. It's been
right on Spit Club. Thank you, man. Yeah, I've been knowing him for a minute. Probably like what, 5-7 years.
Sheesh. He's a good dude, man. Good dude.
Yeah, solid dude. Yeah, he's always showing nothing but love. Yeah, shout out to Spit Club.
Yeah, were you in a Cypher? I saw the message said something about a Cypher. Were you ever in a Cypher before?
Yeah, I don't know if I knew him from the Cypher. Like, I feel like I might have known him through one of the mutual homies. But yeah, we used to go to one of the ways that I like really started to get more known in the scene is ROTC, Return of the Cypher. It used to be this weekly Sunday event out over in the Boom Boom Room. They have a live band, they have a host, and people just jump up on stage 1 minute at a time. You drop a verse, you drop a freestyle, you drop whatever you want, and then time's up. You go back in the line, you go again, and that had been going on for 5-6 years until the pandemic. So
that's a shame, man.
That's such a dope thing to have to be fucking ruined by the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love good Cypher. I love a good gathering. We used to have this thing out here where it was like every Wednesday at this venue that I like absolutely loved. I played all of my band's first shows there, my hip hop first show there. And they used to do things Wednesday, and it was always just to showcase new Long Island artists. And like the pandemic killed that. And it's like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like such a dope those little movements that you get to watch like from the ground up start to grow are always fucking dope. And like, that shit that the kids need, bro. They don't need to be going to shows pilled out. You save that for adulthood. You're young, you got to find a scene to latch on to. You do drugs later when life actually gets hard.
Yeah. Straight up. I noticed you do like a lot of like mental health stuff, including on Mondays you do a live mental health Mondays. How did you get started to do that stuff online?
As I was increasing writing about mental health, like within my lyrics, it occurred to me that, I just wanted to kind of make that more of my brand and kind of put that more into the forefront of what I was known for. And also, find ways to reach out to other people and, talk people through their own mental health issues and see what was going on in the community and see how I could be of service, imparting my knowledge from, having that partially be part of my college degree to my like 10 years of experience doing hip hop therapy and, gaining all the knowledge I've gained in psychology and, mental health and wanting to be able to impart that and also wanting to grow that knowledge. So, Mental Health Mondays, me read and, we pick like a different topic like every week. We'll try to like we'll watch like the same videos so we kind of have the same basis of knowledge and then try to expand on that. So it's been really good in a way to, try to help other people and also help myself in trying to further my knowledge within mental health. And I was also kind of like looking for like kind of a transitional, aspect because I just kind of stopped doing What's So Hot. I was doing this like interview series that was based off of Hot Ones or, me and my cameraman Taste Nate would go interview some of the homies that was, dropping projects and we go try to find like the place that had the spiciest food and, just have a conversation over some really hot shit and, try to do interviews that way. So after that kind of started to sizzle out after the pandemic, I was like, all right, let me go find something else to do.
Yeah, that's a dope concept. I actually definitely want to check that out. I'm a big fan of that type of stuff. I write heavily about like mental health stuff because, this shit that nobody talks about. So I'm definitely always down to watch and see, other things based off it. But it's also something that I think that like just people in general need that, but like from a realistic level, not just like I'm gonna throw a Facebook status up and whoever comments me and a creepy DM, I'm gonna talk to them. But like just people, I think one of the most important things about that is like hearing someone actually talk about it. Not like a post, not like a news article, not some like, fucking VH1 series, but actually hearing a real person talk about some shit. And like, it could be someone, we see someone and we automatically assume stuff about them. But to hear real shit come out their mouth is like, I think that it's priceless. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. I definitely want to check that.
Yeah. Host every, or try to at least every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Standard Time on IG Live with Jane the Message. We go from like 7 to 7:30, give or take. And yeah, it's been, I had my own experiences with depression, going to therapy, like since I was like a kid to teenagehood to adulthood. So, I'll talk about that experience. I've found a new therapist now, the sliding scale therapy. So I try to offer, those services and try to offer resources for people that are looking for resources. It's like $20 and up for people that are looking for individual therapy for an affordable price. Cause I feel like that is one of the barriers for a lot of people to seek therapeutic services is the price is just fucking insane. And then Jane's really good at being able to talk to people about her experience with autism, being someone that is autistic and, being able to impart all of her knowledge of autism and those type of resources. So
that's how dope.
That's dope as fuck. Yeah. When we wrap this up later, we need links and all sorts of shit like that.
I got you. Yeah. I actually have a link in my bio. If you click on IG at Watzreal on IG, there is a tab that has mental health resources. It has the link to sliding scale therapy. It has resources of books, videos. So, we're not only just trying to talk about it on the site, but also trying to offer resources for people that are looking. And if anybody wants a resource that isn't up there, please let me know and we'll try to add it there.
Yeah. That's a big thing. Like just coming from like my childhood, being a black man, growing up in this world, but growing up in hip hop, like you're not going to tell black people, we're like, oh, we don't do therapy. We don't do that shit. But now imagine trying to tell a hip hopper that's double the defiance. And it's just dope to be a part of like that kind of outlet, this kind of outlet where, hey, you might catch some, the hip hop fan who's like, oh, maybe this is someone that I can listen to, someone that I low key trust. So fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So that's honestly, there's no better way to get it around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way to get that. Yeah.
That's also like, the reason that, for the nonprofit that I work for, Beats Farms of Life, we pair clinicians with artists to provide therapeutic services while going in, writing hip hop. And, they get the therapeutic aspects through like the hip hop that they make, but also like we have clinicians there to like really also be able to provide like a clinical lens and combine those two different worlds. To make it more culturally congruent, since there is still such a stigma, even though it is being decreased within hip hop, there still is a stigma within hip hop and through a lot of cultures.
Yeah, hats off to you, bro. That's a dope thing you're doing for a lot of people. It's really much needed. I wish more artists would do the same deal. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this kind of topics that need to be talked about more.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, what would you say is your main goal in music?
Man, I would love to, be able to make a living off of music. I don't want to be like crazy famous because I feel like a lot of people that are crazy famous become crazy. I feel like it fucks with their mental health. Talking about mental health, I feel like it's really hard to be famous and have a sustainable mental health. Like, I feel like those worlds don't clash really or like, blend very well most of the time. So like, I just want to be able to make a living off music. I would love to, be able to travel. I used to tour a lot. Back in, a few years ago, I've kind of slowed down a lot on that, especially with the pandemic and with other things going on, just taking more hours from my job, but, being able to travel, being able to promote mental health and, being able to make an impact. Like I would love to be able to really provide the experience that was provided by, we talked about earlier, provide the experience that was provided by me by Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon. Like Man on the Moon, like helped me understand my life and emotions in ways that I didn't understand yet. So if I can provide that to somebody else, I would be completely satisfied and I would be like, job well done and just hang up the jersey after that.
There you go. That's a good goal, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll get there and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just keep at it. And what's your top 5 favorite rappers?
This question gets everybody fucked up.
Yeah. That's why I love asking this question.
It's really
I will never stop asking this question. Don't try to stop.
It feels like a question you get asked all the time, but it's always a question I'm never ready for. It's just like,
I'm kind of ready, but even then I get kind of like.
I think the confusion is like there's a difference between like top 5 like favorite and then like top 5 influential and then like top 5 punchline. You know what I'm saying? There's so many fucking ways. So to like have to just do top 5 period.
Because I have like a top 5 like lyricists, top 5 like songwriters. I got my top 5 objective list. I'm just gonna go off personal. So it's top 5 personal list, not what I think are objectionably the best, but these are the top 5 like
that you fuck with the most.
Yeah. Nas and Jay, just straight off the back, like those are 2 that I go back and forth with when people ask my favorite. It's always back and forth between Nas and Jay. Those are the top 2.
Here we go.
I'm gonna say Kanye. I'm gonna put Kanye on the board.
Ooh, old Kanye.
Like relatability and just like musicality and the way he's just like been able to progress. Like he's been very influential and someone I still rock with a lot. As crazy as he is in real life, like his music still like, you know, holds a lot of weight for me.
I mean, it's
gotta put Kid Cudi up there too. Like, you know, I've kind of like been back and forth between like the Man on the Moon and, you know, he kind of had like a phase in between, but as much as Man on the Moon album and Kids See Ghosts, like that too, like it was such an influential project. Reborn just alone is such an amazing song. And then I'm gonna close with Mac Miller.
All right.
Mac Miller. Swimming is also like one of my favorite albums now. So
Swimming grew on me. When it first came out, it was like, it was all right.
Mac Miller grew on me. Like when I heard Mac Miller first, I think it's because he grew. Like Mac Miller was very much kind of like a frat rapper in the beginning, and like I heard the first thing I heard from him was Donald Trump, and I was like, okay, like he's cool. Like,
I didn't rock with him until someone was like, I used to not like his old stuff, like Party on Fifth Ave and all that. I was like, all right, I'm over it. But somebody was just like, yo, listen to Macadelic, and I was like, all right. And then I listened to it and I was like, oh, he's turning into this. And I think everything after that was like bangers, like, you know, Movies with the Sound Off was bang. And then
that's the one I started with that made me like him.
The 3 a.m. What was it? The AM one, banger. Like, and I was like, man, we watched this dude turn into a fucking artist.
Yeah. His evolution, like he's never been whack, but he's always been, he went from cool to just like growing with each album. Like he just constantly got better. His evolution has been amazing to see with him.
And his shows were dope too. He had a good ass show. I went to
he put on a great show. I've seen him a couple of times, and it's every time I've seen him, it like got better. And it's just like, his evolution.
Sad I've never seen him.
Real.
Sad I've never seen it. What's the best shows that you've seen? Like live hip hop show?
Oh, live hip hop show. I was gonna say those rookies and shit.
Live hip hop show for me, that's tough because I have the best set I've ever seen, and as far as an artist who puts on the best show, so the best show I think all in general that I think I've as an artist, I think Tech Nine puts on the best live show. He's crazy as hell. You get to see maybe a titty or two, and he's just chopping, and the lights are going with him, and it's exciting and it's fun. Juggalos are scary, so you got that aspect too because they're weird, but that's what it is. But as far as like the best like live set I've ever seen in my life, so fucking and all my New York fans are gonna hate me for this, but there used to be this huge festival back in the day. I want to say it was Rock the Bells, and it was always old school hip hop heads. And here Snoop headline, and he did Doggy Style front to back. And it was fucking incredible. It was the best set I've ever seen in my life. Not only did he sound perfect, he was interacting with the crowd. He bought a 40 ounce off someone. He had Warren G and all the features on a fucking bench in the back, just drinking and hanging out. And he had little small like fucking changes that kind of showed you that he was really out here doing it. But like that, like remixes, like Murder Was the Case had an extended intro and a beat switch up. And like, it just had these little small, but they were like treats, like changes to the record that like, you know, I know by heart. And it was flawless, bro. Like I've never seen anybody just sound that perfect. It was insane. And I was like right in front. Like it blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's the best live I've ever seen.
I can 1000% see that. So,
he killed it.
His dances were always dope. I saw when they thought was alive twice. He made dope ass show every single time. He had a whole set just for him on his own set. That was fucking dope.
Yeah, Snoop put us on a great live show, and I've seen a lot. I've seen like my heroes. You know, I've seen Big Daddy, and I've seen Nas. I saw Nas do Illmatic front to back, and it didn't even match. It didn't even touch like how clean Snoop's was, but it was dope. Okay. Like, don't get me wrong.
That's the best show I've ever seen. Is seeing Nas do all of Illmatic front to back. He was at the Fox Theater in Oakland. Like fire. Yeah, he was. I think it was
Oh,
like 30 year anniversary or something. He was like in the documentary going on. Yeah, it was probably the same thing. Yeah.
Yep, same thing.
That show I've ever seen. I've seen Big Daddy Kane. I've seen Rakim. I've seen a lot of a lot of my favorites too. But yeah.
I saw Rakim and Eric B. So, you know, as a proud Long Islander, they did a show. They did a comeback together after it was a couple years ago, you know, at the squad. And they did, you know, Eric B for president, like, and I in my glory. And it was at this venue that I don't love out here. It's got shit sound, but it's a great looking venue, but it's got a huge brick fucking ceiling and wall. So the sound is garbage. But seeing them like squash their beef and perform, I'm like, bro, I'm more proud of Long Island than ever before, bro. I'm like, I'm going to fight someone if they say they're not from Long Island when I leave this venue. But it was a good time, you know?
Oh, hell yeah.
What about you? Ask that question for you too, sir.
Oh, fucking! I was actually gonna say the same deal. Fucking Rock the Bells in what was it? In not Cupertino. It was in what was it at the Shoreline? What's that city called? Fucking
Mountain View.
Mountain View, yes. Yeah. The Shoreline Mountain View. Fucking when it was Bone Thugs with Easy Hologram. We had DJ Yellow do the DJ set.
Oh man, you got the hologram experience.
Yeah, I got to see the hologram. He's fucking real, dude. Even the shit on the video on YouTube does not compare to what I saw. That showed some blue hit. I don't know what the fuck they did to bring him back for a fucking set, but that was insane. I actually had to bring this shit around, like, oh. You know, but that was a cool ass concert. They also had like Immortal Technique, Tech 9 was there, fucking Juicy J with 3-6. Fucking, it was an incredible concert, man.
That was great, man. I don't know why. I think Nas had like I remember seeing a long, weird hip hop fact because I'm a Nas fan. But when like him and Khalees thing was happening and they like the divorce, Rock the Bells was listed as like one of his assets. But yeah, that was just a great thing that like I wish they kept going. Like there was the year Wu-Tang headline and like Modern and fucking
I saw that one too.
I'm so sad.
You bastard.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed all of them. I'm really sad.
There was great. One year fucking Tribe did Midnight Marauders front to back. It was insane. Busta Rhymes came out for his feature. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. Fucking KRS-One was there. Fucking hella people. It was fucking insane.
It's insane,
man.
So what's next after this project, brother? What do you got next in the works?
You know, I'm trying to build up the deluxe version. I'm trying to some of my songs like remastered, or you know, songs that I have remastered. Get the volume up, and get everything worked out from the old tracks. And I got like 3. I'm trying to do like probably like 3 or 4 tracks on there. I debuted one of them at my birthday show called Kanye Loves Kanye, about like loving a girl more than Kanye loves Kanye. And that one went really well. So I'm probably going to drop that as a single like in the next few months, and hopefully drop the deluxe version around the same time. So really excited about that. I also got a music video for Hello Darkness dropping not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So 2/2/2/2/2, February 2nd.
Nice.
So shout out to Nobi for Noble Cinema for the music video. And then other than that, I'm trying to work on like, you know, some smaller EPs, you know, just as you said, like these projects take a lot. So I'm trying to scale back a little bit, and then also work on the Light album on the side. So that's going to be the next side.
I was going to ask if you're going to make a Light album.
I really want to like a lot more of like just fun music, like more of just like a vibe. Still, you know, lyrical, still have the message, but like, you know, just kind of make fun music for people to just kind of vibe to. So that's what I'm trying to work on for the Light album. So I've been writing for that for a while, but you need to get back into that. It's been a minute.
Yeah, nice, man. That's dope. That's a dope outline. I mean, it's good too. Like, I mean, it's not good that, you know, the pandemic is still kind of fucking here, but it's good. It's not good, but it's like at least on a music release scheduling plan, there's, you know, you can go light and like release a little bit here and there, because there's no, you know, you don't know if like when shows are going to start happening. So you can just put out whatever shit that you're like, yo, I'm never going to perform this. You know what I'm saying? Do a song where I'm chopping for 60 seconds straight without breathing. I'm never going to perform this live. I'm just going to put this out. You can do whatever the fuck you want at this point, you know?
Exactly.
So anything else you want to add to the people out there at all, brother?
Yeah, I just want to, shout out to Beats Rhymes of Life. Make sure you follow Hip Hop Therapy on Instagram. Follow me on IG, Watzreal the Hopper. Look out for Mental Health Mondays every Monday on IG Live, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look out for the music video dropping February 2nd, Hello Darkness.
Nice.
And yeah, on that, just want to appreciate y'all for having me.
Hey, no doubt, man. Yo, this was dope. I do have one question. I want to start.
Go for it. Yeah, just end with a question. Let's do it.
So just because I got to ask, because, we cause a lot of trouble, with the brand and all that. But what do you think of the page? What do you think of the review system and the whole thing? You could be as honest as you want. You can hate it. You can love it.
The whole back, man.
Because I'm like... process. You about to say how safe? Fuck y'all.
No, I mean like
it was a green stamp. God damn it.
No, I think it's like I think there are elements of that are good. I think it's kind of like I fuck with this. No, I don't fuck with this. It's like very like yes or no kind of situation. It's kind of like a very like pass fail type of situation. I think that it's kind of is what it is. I think it's all about what y'all trying to put out there. So I think I can just like tell because I remember like the rating system. Like after you get to a certain point, it's just like after like bad past okay, it's like how bad is this? Like I fell asleep to it. It belongs to the trash can. You should quit rapping. I'm like, damn, this was brutal. Like. But that's what it seems like what y'all going for. So like, that's what y'all going for. Then y'all accomplishing that. So it's all about what y'all trying to put out there into the world.
That's fair. I like to find out. Like, I like to see what different artists think about it because it's like, I like to let people know. I started the whole thing because of just my time in music. I've gotten ripped apart. I've gotten praised. I've gotten all sorts of things. And it's always hit me that like the only time I ever really was like, yo, I'm about to go crazy is when someone was like, nah, that shit was whack. And then it always stepped me up. So I was like, I always like the thought of like the fucking, you just get better through that bullshit. You just want to fucking go crazy. And I never really wanted it to be like, yo, impress us. But I do just want to piss some people off to see them. I want to see them go crazy. Like we've had some people, we reviewed and they've been, I would literally be like, yo, this is hot shit. And then they'd come out and I'd be like, oh shit. Like they just told me to shut the fuck up on a whole song. Like they went crazy, like they snapped. So it's good to see that. And I think, I don't know. I feel like I want to be like the small gateway into like, yo, if you want to get famous, you want to do this or whatever, like, you need this realism. Sometimes you need someone to just be a little honest so that it exists. So you're not blindsided by like because if a label hits somebody with some shit like that, their life is ruined essentially. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I figure we want to do some music heads, get a bunch of, I got a bunch of hip hop heads. All of us can write, all of us can rap, we all can make music. Just be like, hey, we're going to keep it honest with the music. We're going to make it very about us. We're not going to do let's play the game for everybody. We're going to say, this is what I like. And this is the review. And just keep it very real. Like, just keep it a buck because that's what I would want from someone, looking at my music. You know what I'm saying? I want someone, if they want to fuck with something, tell me. And it's not necessarily so I could be like, oh, I'm going to impress them, but it's going to make me think like I could probably do this, or maybe I don't need to. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the energy
industry
we go.
Has a lot of brutal honesty in it. It's like, if you're not ready for it, you're gonna get surprised when it starts coming. So like, that gives me more of like an understanding where y'all are coming from or where you're coming from, and like,
that's why I wanted to clear it with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I appreciate that.
I wanted to let you know like where I was coming from fully on there. I talked about it on the episode too, but I was like, yo, there's a certain, like, I get a certain way when I listen to stuff. Like if I'm listening to something, I tell people and it goes full ignorant, I'm just like, I fuck with it because they didn't try to impress me. They just went fucking full crazy. But if someone's trying to teach me a lesson, like I want that lesson. Like I want, I'm gonna be hard on them type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially let's bring it to the therapy thing. I'm gonna go to a therapist. I'm gonna give him a hard time before I open up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to test where his head's at, but I just think it's, a small thing, but I think certain people might need it. because if it's like we're giving someone a at minimum a bad review with some jokes in it, but that's going to be nothing compared to TMZ trying to ruin your whole character, kill your brand, kill your streams, and all sorts of shit like that. So it's like, yo, what we're doing, we're just trying to be like, hey, heat check, but it's always good to see what people think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, well, appreciate you being part of the interview, brother. You know what I'm saying? Coming through, chopper it up with us real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this was fucking dope, man. So again, shoot me those links and all that all that good stuff. And yeah, man, let us know when the next stuff is dropping. The one thing that I do always let everybody know is if I reviewed your stuff, anything you put out next, the next reviewer does it. So everybody gets to, so it's not like double dipping and then you get different ears on it. Everybody has different tastes. I get yelled at all the time for liking certain shit and not liking shit during the fucking recaps. But yeah, shoot us those links and keep in touch, man. I really fuck with this Monday shit. Like, even if you got to send me like one of those messages when it's live and all that shit, you go for it, bro. Like, I'm down. I'm with it. I'm definitely interested, and anything I could do to help out, let me know.
I appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you.
Let people know where to follow you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, follow me on IG, Watzreal the Hopper, WATZREAL the Hopper. That's Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, music video dropping Wednesday, February 2nd. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Spotify. Hopefully there'll be some new music on there soon. Stream the Dark album. Check out my last 3 projects. Got 3 other before that. Yeah.
All right, man. Yo, again, this is real, man. You have a good one, man. Peace out. And everybody, thanks for joining up. Peace out to y'all. Y'all enjoy yourselves. Do whatever y'all do at night. Whatever weird shit y'all get into.
I don't know what it is, but do it.
I don't want to know, but do it. Peace.